Hi, I hope you can hear me. I can hear myself on my headphones, but I wanted to make a video today. I tried making a video a while ago, and I mentioned it to my friend and roommate, um, and they gifted me headphones and a microphone. So, perfect. I have to use it now. I might take these off soon though, because these are like just distracting. They're very squeezing my ears right now, and I decided to re-gauge them, so this might not be the best idea. Okay. Just take them off. Fix the hair. Okay. So I wanted to make a video about everything that's been going on. I just wanted to mention today is my birthday. What better way to start out my 30s than by just being upfront and honest about everything that's going on? And um, I just want to get started, get started living my life finally. And I now have the opportunity. So I wanted to talk about what has happened this past 2 months. People who follow me on social media, they have seen snippets of everything. I can't be too transparent. I'm going to be a little vague. Yeah, let's get started. Before I get into why I am where I am today, specifically outside of California, I wanted to address what was happening with my mom. Unfortunately, a lot has come to surface about certain family members, and it was too much for her to handle. It brought up a lot of her trauma. She suffered a lot of abuse as a child, teenager, early adult, and this surfacing and me having to be honest about my own abuse has sent her kind of into like a manic. I made notes, so I'm going to address them. So I wrote down that she's suffering from a trauma-induced mental breakdown. I've tried to get her help, but she refuses. She does not want to be hospitalized. This has brought back a lot of trauma from 2019 when I had to foster my brother and take care of him. This is why she just has these mental breaks sometimes, and I've witnessed them younger as a child, but I never knew exactly what was going on until I became an adult. And she was not fit to take care of Ezra. The difference now is that he's 18, so he's able to make his own decisions for himself, and I'm very thankful for that. Another note I made is I chose to help my brother, who usually accepts my help. Sometimes it takes time. And I love him, and I love my parents. I love my parents, but I cannot save them from themselves. Everything I mention going forward is my own firsthand account of what happened and how things came to surface for me. And everything's alleged until it goes through the court of law, or however you want to say it. But I watched enough YouTube videos to know if I'm going to make something like this, I need to make that very clear. It's all alleged. There's a lot of people involved, but it's up to them to make their statements to law enforcement, to whoever they seem fit to reveal certain information to, trying to be vague, but also trying to make sure everyone's safe. Ezra and I are safe. We're both out of California. I can't be too open about our locations, but we're both safe and we have a roof over our head, and we're in positions to where we can move on with our lives essentially and not have to worry about our parents. Ezra has a different father than me, but mom has been our main family for years, obviously. We've had a lot of family issues, especially with everything going on now. I don't have contact with a lot of my family members. I probably have contact with 5% of both sides after these things came to light. Another note is I'm trying to keep things under 10 minutes because I do want to put this on TikTok. I want a certain audience to see this. That'll become clear after this. So if I have to make a part two, I will. So, the beginning of 2021, my dad and I moved into a new place. It was bigger than the last place, so I had to um, basically start working at his martial arts school to help pay for the bills, parts of the rent, and whatever else he needed help with, basically. Um, my ex boyfriend was supposed to come with us, but things just didn't work out. So I decided to step up and take over some financial things. Um, so I started working full time at the martial arts school. We ended up moving the school to a new location. Um, I don't want to get too specific with locations. I want to make sure everything's pretty vague, but I will say everything's in Stockton, California. Um, so, anyways, we moved schools. That was a lot of hard work. Um, and after we got established, we started doing very well financially. And I was promoted to like a manager position. It was finally like put on paper. I got a little raise, and things were going pretty well for a bit. Um, After a few months, I noticed some strange behavior from my dad. Um, it has to do with a new hire that had gotten hired at the school. This person was working there for a bit, but then I started noticing a different dynamic. She started working behind the desk when she was a physical instructor, fitness instructor, excuse me. Um, and she ran our little Thai Fit program. This whole thing doesn't really involve her directly, but she's what set off a lot of strange behavior and red flags, in my opinion. I confront my dad about his strange behavior, and he reveals to me that he is dating this new hire. And it's very interesting coming from him because his standards are up here. I mean, do not get me wrong, like, not about the girl. Um, I just mean, he would never let a love interest get involved at work, right? Like, get in the way of him teaching his martial arts and all this, right? So he wanted to keep it under wraps. He wanted me to keep it a secret too. I was like, no, this is weird. This is very weird for me. I'm not going to keep it a secret. I'm not keeping your secrets. Anyways, I found out that she's slowly replacing my position there as a manager. Um, I go through some paperwork and I found out that she's getting paid twice as much as me as well. You know, this is, a different kind of dynamic, different kind of relationship, obviously, but why get the business involved? On top of feeling like I was being pushed out and left in the dark, he started asking me to train her in doing my jobs, like the advertisements, the little posters, social media posts and pictures. And then it slowly became her having access to the bank accounts and starting to pay the bills. She was doing things incorrectly. I started seeing money missing. I'm not directly blaming her. It could be, the owner as well. But just strange behavior. And I finally had enough. And I had walked away from the school. While I was working at the school, I was also working at a coffee shop. But I had also applied at a bakery cake studio place. I decided to quit both jobs. One was, unwillingly, but I ended up leaving the coffee shop as well just to try to do something different. And I started working at the cake shop full time. Eventually, it didn't work out there either. And my dad was asking me for more and more favors at the school because things weren't kept up with like they were when we first reopened. So I felt obligated to because I live with this person and, we have bills to pay. I wasn't making nearly as much as I was at the school at this bakery. So I, I accepted. I basically was rehired. And I noticed a lot more strange behavior happening at this point. Now it wasn't just between my dad and this new hire, it was everyone involved: instructors, people who work behind the desk, certain volunteers as well. Um, and I just felt like I was being lied to and gaslit. Like, I thought I could really trust these people, and things just weren't working out in that direction. My dad was also making like strange threats, like if we don't make a certain amount of money in a month's time, then people will get a certain percentage of their paychecks cut and their bonuses taken away. Um, he's made loose threats like this in the past, but he's never actually done it. He that's his way of motivating or pushing people to do more, and I come to find out that after the meeting where he tells everyone this is going to happen, the new hire wasn't affected. It was just the people who were most dedicated to him that were getting pay cuts. So it's interesting to see people's loyalty after that. I mean, there's a lot more besides pay cuts that were being threatened, I think. I had finally had enough again, and I quit again. This time, I just wasn't doing very well mentally. I was exhausted. I was worried about my mom's health at the time, let alone her mental health. But anyways, I just needed like a month off just to get my head straight, to figure out what I had gone through and what I had witnessed, and to replay how everyone treated me when I came to them with these concerns. Because it started with the financial concerns, and then it moved to other more deeper concerning things that I ended up bringing up to everyone. And they shut it down. And in that work, you don't shut down those concerns. Children's safety is number one. So I knew there was something more behind the scenes. But I just want to say that martial arts is like a religion in a lot of families. The dojo is like the church. Everyone gathers there: parents, kids, friends. And the black belts, the masters, are the priests. You know, they preach their teachings and their beliefs, their tenets, and they push people beyond their limits. Because that's one thing that you're taught as a martial artist, is you grin and bear it. Once I realized I couldn't trust anyone at the school, or anyone affiliated, it not only does it involve the school I worked at, it involves multiple schools at this point. I reached out to people who left the school, whether it was from training, working, business ties. I started asking around, and I'm like, these weird things have happened while I was working there. What's your opinion on this? And it turns out there was a lot of people waiting for me to come forward, and I'm very thankful that I asked those hard questions, because I wouldn't be here today in this location if I didn't, and my brother wouldn't be safe now if I didn't ask those hard questions. And I am concerned for anyone involved, especially underage. So I want to end by saying that if you've trained at a martial arts school anywhere in California, Stockton, outside of California, if you worked at or were involved with a martial arts school and you were treated strangely, inappropriately, whether it was it made you feel uncomfortable in a sexual way, financially, if, gosh, how do I word this? If you were coerced into anything, just know that you're not alone. There's just people, innocent people, who got involved and were taken advantage of. And I'm worried about underage people. So just look out for each other. Um, if you're underage and you are involved, talk to your parents, talk to your fellow students, um, talk to a school counselor. Those people are mandated to protect you. And I hope your parents protect you. So, my inbox is always open. I'm always willing to talk about anything involving this. So, stay strong. I'm here for you. And thank you for listening. I hope to be less vague in the future. But for now, this is enough to get out. So, thank you.